This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf, and it's available in print in 13 states at your local cannabis retailer and also available online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, with my co-host and partner, Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And of course, there's Stashley.
The token female.
And Mary J. White.
The smoking female.
Welcome to the second half of this Leaf Life show called Motherhood and Cannabis. In just a moment, we'll get into acceptance in the family when mom is using cannabis, and we'll spin Stash's wheel to see what products Megan Llewellyn, who is an MS survivor and a medical marijuana patient who has raised 3 children, 2 of whom are champion power weightlifters, this show's Greg the Guinea Pig is going to be trying next. But first, it's time for Where in the World?
Y ahora es hora de las noticias de cannabis.
It's time for cannabis news from around the world.
I think they're speaking Spanish there, Mary J. White.
I did not understand that language.
You know I don't know Spanish.
No,
No,
nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing. I got a little bit of German. That's about
¿Cómo
it.
estás usted?
That's not right. I
don't
know
know?
that's not right. That's how am I doing? But that's dear
Yes.
accent sucks. Okay.
¿Cómo te llamas?
I'm trying to tell you about a country where
Mary
they
J.
get.
White.
Don't-
Maria. Okay, go ahead.
Ricker's going to come back after 2 years in LA and be totally
Super fluent.
street fluent.
Lord have mercy. Okay, they do not speak Spanish in these countries. Okay? I'm just going to say that right now.
Fair.
But a
Muslim.
huge drug syndicate, I mean a big one, okay, tried to smuggle not pounds, not kilos, tons
With a Z.
of meth by hiding it in, wait for it, shipments
Was this
of...
Purdue Pharma?
No.
I mean, they do that all the time.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Wait, GW Pharmaceuticals? No, are you sure?
Oh, I heard we were low on ADHD meds.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were just...
Let's just make a whole bunch of meth.
It's the missing shipment.
Okay, just kidding.
Sorry,
Keep going.
Mary.
Okay, anyway, so they're trying to hide... they're trying to hide the meth in shipments of maple syrup.
That sounds
Anyway.
great.
That's how they do it in Canada.
Just get a zing
Anyway.
for breakfast.
Authorities from 3 different nations worked together for more than 5 months to unravel this nefarious billion-dollar maple syrup smuggling scheme.
Wow.
This
Okay.
maple syrup. It's awfully
So it was awfully,
white.
I know, and it makes me so energetic.
a lot of pancakes
Anyway.
out there.
fucking weird.
So, police from New Zealand and Australia worked with police from Canada to figure out
Oh, of
the
course.
tons of meth. Now, they intercepted 4
Maple
separate
syrup.
hauls, 4 hauls of this meth, weighing more than 6 tons.
Wow.
But
Is that
anyway,
including the syrup?
no, this is without the fucking syrup.
There was no syrup.
Okay, there was 766 gallons of
So
liquid
like Canada's
meth.
like, that sounds suspicious.
There's-
we gotta figure it out.
It's like the new Frank's Red Hot.
Well, they
I
didn't
put
get
that
it from
shit
us.
on everything.
So where'd they get all this maple syrup from?
Mary, I'd like to personally apologize for these 2 knuckleheads who keep interrupting you. That shouldn't happen.
It's okay.
It's unjust.
That's so funny.
It's all right. There was also 766 gallons in canola oil, but that's another story altogether.
What?
So the infused cooking with
Well,
Mary
apparently,
White.
infused
Put a zing.
methamphetamine.
Oh, where was
cookies.
that? Sorry.
Okay, it was New Zealand and Australia
Really?
working together with Canada. But you weren't listening. You were interrupting.
Yeah.
So it was in Australia or it was in Canada?
I'm done now. The story's over.
Mary, can you start over, please?
You guys suck.
All right, Stash, spin that
That
wheel.
was hilarious.
Let's see what's in Stash's stash.
Oh, God.
It was a lot.
That was a highlight of the
Not
show.
yet.
Don't hate the player,
This
hate
is
the
a
game.
Mega Runtz dab saucer from Oleum. Again, live resin. And it's almost ready. I think it
In the Dabex.
I think it went.
The Dabex.
In the Dabex. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Dabex.
It's the Dabex Go, by the way.
Oh, look
Yes.
at that.
Yeah.
Good dab, Megan.
Yep. I went to their facility. It's sweet.
I bet it's very sciencey there.
Sweet.
Where can you find them?
Dabex everywhere online.
Oh, Oh, and it's just Dab X.
Yeah. Buy your Dab X today. It's a wonderful electronic dab rig. You can take anywhere. It's magnetic. It's
cool.
You can you fill it once and you get like 30 to 40 dabs without having to clean it.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to put a big old dab in there, so if anyone wants one.
I'm busy.
How was that? How'd it taste?
Oh, delicious. Like a Runtz.
It's the first time Megan's smoked in 3 months, so I'm sure you're loving it.
That's actually not bad.
Oh, good.
So do you get high from vapor and smoke?
Nothing.
I've heard with the
experienced-
enzyme, that's for edibles.
Yeah,
like
no, I've
a lot
never-
of people,
You've
maybe,
never been stoned.
No.
maybe 20% is kind of the number I would guess. Don't have the
Wow.
enzyme in their stomach.
Yep.
And that's why you meet people who say edibles don't affect me.
Yeah.
And I've met
And that-
people.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that is so. I wonder too if you could like take an enzyme like pill.
So I take
handy.
enzymes for I have gut problems because of all the
Okay.
pharmaceuticals I took. And so I take a digestive enzyme, and I had wondered if that would help,
Yeah.
and it hasn't. I mean,
That's
I say help, but I mean, you all are trying to fix it. I don't see it as broken. I mean, because it's fixing me. Like,
Yeah.
One
you all
of
are really
us. Yeah.
I know, and I get it because I have been with a lot of you, and you want me to experience the high, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that because not drinking anymore. I mean, and I'm now doing mushrooms, and I'm finding the same thing. I mean, I did 5 grams of penis albino,
Wow.
and didn't feel
Albino
anything.
penis envy.
5 grams?
No
Yeah.
way.
Felt nothing.
Yeah, and he was sitting in the restaurant with me, and
Restaurant?
well, no,
I
because there
know.
was nothing.
On 5
And he's like,
grams.
anything? And I'm like, no.
Wow.
Those
And
are
I-
my talk to
I
God
had-
mushrooms. I would be on a different plane.
And
of
that's what I
existence.
want. I mean, I've read about the ayahuasca, and resetting your neurological, and I believe in that. I mean, I have gone hippie. I mean, I ground, I do all of the things because they work. I mean, like I take Epsom salt baths every single day. And
That's what weed's a gateway drug to.
yes.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that
Healing shit.
healing, health,
Yes.
wellness, world.
Absolutely.
And as I said, I have this massage therapist who used to consume weed, recreationally all the time, had a child, hasn't, went home with one of my gummies. And I said, they're strong, so be forewarned. And I said, I don't think it's ever going to get you crazy because it's made full spectrum. I mean, it has everything that,
Yes.
it, is making it a chill experience. And she came back and she's like, it was the weirdest thing because after I consumed it, all I kept thinking was, you need to stretch. And like, she's had this child and she's taking care of other people and she's not taking care of her body. And she's like, my brain would not shut up. I was like, that's the voice.
There you
That
go.
is, and you
Yeah.
can use it recreationally and ignore the voice. But I always say, like, people who get the munchies, if you gave them like really good, nutrient rich
Yes.
food,
Yeah.
they'd be satiated immediately. It's
Right.
because the nachos and the,
Yeah.
the Doritos don't give the body what it wants. That is
Preach.
actually your brain telling you. And like stoners don't want to hear this because they love their Doritos.
No, excuse
The
me. I
Doritos
disagree.
Locos
Yeah,
Taco
No,
from Taco
I
Bell.
disagree. This is, no, I'm sorry.
So
But
good.
I'm going to say for the civilized grown-up stoner, I would no more eat a fucking Dorito.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I just had to put that in
How
there.
much would I
No,
have
so
to
that
pay
does
you
exist. So
to
you're
eat a
saying
Doritos Locos taco?
Not all stoners hate
Taco
it.
Well, your
Bell.
body
So much.
craves nutrients.
Yes.
And when it's just nachos or a Big Mac, there's very little nutrition
Empty
in it.
calories.
Your body
Yeah.
says, eat more.
Yes.
Eat
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
because I'm not getting what I need. And therefore, people continue to eat the same thing over and over and over again.
And then they
they're
don't look
still
good.
not getting the nutrients, but they're getting all that other stuff that obviously equates to a lack of health.
Yeah, and
Now-
the crazy thing is I've learned you can actually, your body will tell you what you
Yes.
want.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
If the stoner sat and like thought about it, they might find that they're, guided towards healthier foods, but it's just not easy in our society and not
Now,
accessible.
when your friend brought the cannabis home and she was having a child, did it also change her perspective on how to raise her children in cannabis? Is she now a believer like we are at the Leaf?
I think she was before. And it was, I mean, her child is only 21 months and,
Okay.
and, it's responsible.
Yeah.
She knows she gets stoned. And so she wanted to make sure her husband was home and
Yeah.
ate small amounts of it. And I mean, she did the responsible thing.
Good.
But when she first said, I haven't smoked or I haven't had it since I had the baby, I immediately kind of was like, as a mom, you really can still. And she was like, no, I know that. And I think more and more moms are becoming aware that the whole, wine and mom thing isn't so fashionable anymore, because they're understanding that there are plant-based medicines that are more helpful.
And drunk driving with toddlers in the back
it is frowned upon. Yeah.
And when you started, you made the shift from alcohol to cannabis, what was the dynamic in the home? Was it accepted? Was there argumentation? Was it?
So it was pharmaceuticals where I didn't announce I'm coming off of the alcohol, because that wasn't a part of it. I mean, I didn't openly discuss that I was medicating with alcohol. Everybody knew I drank, because that's how I got through my day.
You were in a lot of pain.
Oh, I was in agony. I broke down at one point to my husband, just sobbing. And I said, I'm an alcoholic. And he said, no, you have a pain problem. Yeah. I mean, and I owe so much to him for seeing that, because many people would have been like, you're right. Because if I knew I wasn't driving my kids anywhere, I would get up and I would put vodka in my Diet Coke or whatever, because it was the way to manage the pain.
It's how my grandmother managed her anxiety or her nerves. It's people have been drinking for years, and it's how they, get rid of some of that stress.
It's destroying your body on so many other levels. And so my body was so sick already that I had nothing else to give. And so when I came off all the pharmaceuticals, I took probably 2 months of what I call being raw. I had nothing in my body because I wanted to see what it was like. And the scary thing was I had been on 14 medications. There was no difference. The pain was still, it was like I thought it would get so much worse. Yeah, because I was taking methadone, but it wasn't doing anything. I mean, it used to get, the pain relief, but it didn't. And so they wanted to give me a pain pump and put, that's the next solution the doctor offered, was to have a pain pump implanted in my hip.
Honey.
And so, but I decided to try the cannabis, and nobody supported it. I mean, I just started calling around.
Doctors.
Nope. Nobody supported it. And, so I came to my kids, and we have 5 kids, and my husband's oldest was in the police academy at that point. He became a Renton police cop while I was living in the Renton house growing my weed. And I have wonderful videos of him standing in his police uniform in the backyard with his father, because my husband is so damn proud of his girls, and he wants everybody. I mean, he takes my 84-year-old mother.
Don't put those on social media.
Why? They're all on social media.
With your son?
What?
Wow.
Yeah. He was okay with it. And he had asked his supervisor, like when I went to the police academy for his graduation, I needed to medicate because it's crowds. And so I went to him and I said, like, because I didn't want to be disrespectful, can I medicate on the property? And like, he talked to them about it. They knew. And I actually I was just curious to know, because, my husband's kind of become addicted to the growing. And I was like, how many is too many? Like, when will they care? And so he went to the head of the Liquor and Weed Control Board and asked him, if somebody had a medical license and they were growing, and they were like, it has to be somebody that's threatening the income of the state and everything. It wasn't, he's like,
that's
we're
an
not.
honest answer.
Yeah, that is a good answer.
Yeah, they don't care if you grow weed until you threaten their monopoly.
Yes.
Well, and that's why we can only, with a medical card, you can only grow up to 15. After that, it's a big threat, apparently.
Well, but they were saying, if they come across a grow, he's like, if it's somebody with their 40 plants, we're not. We're not looking to take you down. They have a lot of understanding, at least in the academy that, here in Washington that my stepson went through. There was a lot of understanding about cannabis.
Good.
And I was really impressed. And what he learned, he went to Wazoo and he went through criminal justice there.
That's Washington State University.
Thank you.
Go Cougs.
Great. Yes, go Cougs. Sorry, my kids went to UW. I probably shouldn't say that.
University of Washington.
There's a rivalry between Huskies and Cougars. But you still can't smoke as a cop.
That's
I was
true.
looking at wildlife law enforcement. Like just the other day, I was just Googling it, like thinking about maybe a future career, 15 or 20 years down.
I could see you in the woods.
Yeah, and just helping people with the big hat. Yeah. And you can't have smoked weed for at least 1 year.
Oh, shit.
To be a ranger?
Yeah, and then they were like, and you can not use hard drugs. And then their example of hard drugs was LSD and opiates.
Oh,
and
please.
I was just like, whoa.
What?
So it's weird you say that. I actually have a friend online who has MS that was using cannabis, and he is a ranger in national forest.
Once you're in, then they're like,
yeah. But that was a conversation I had with him. That's
so what about your kids?
Yeah.
What's their,
they're proud of me.
How did you, they are.
Yeah. They're really proud of me.
You raised them on cannabis. Their perspective of it when you started using cannabis was this is medicine.
No, I'm sorry. When it started, so we make fun of each other. That is how we express love. That is what we do as a family. And I was petrified that I was going to get stoned off my ass and they were going to make fun of me. And that was going to be, the end story. I mean, it was just going to be them constantly. And I mean, the fact that I didn't get stoned, but they spent the first 2 or 3 years teasing me. And so it was like, oh, mom's 420 blazing. And I mean, there was every joke. But that's how we express our love. But they didn't believe that I didn't get stoned. They didn't believe that it was really healing me until they saw it. I am proof in the pudding. And now, I mean, I don't see my boys often. They live in Montana. But I mean, every time I do see them, I mean, I get these enormous hugs and they are just so proud of me because they know that this wasn't easy. I mean, it wasn't like I just decided to smoke weed and I got better. I mean, there's a lot of other work that came into play. Yeah. But it was the introduction of weed and plant-based medicine that made my brain do that click and was like, holy shit, this stuff is really bad for me. I mean, as I said, I don't even eat sugar now. Like, I want to eat sugar. You really want to eat sugar.
There's all the things that are advertised and then told are good. Yeah. Eat these foods, take these medicines. Yeah. Drink this. Yep. Yeah.
And as
don't
a result,
smoke that.
They're making better decisions in life. I mean, I laugh.
Kids.
So, they're self-supporting themselves as power lifters, and they bought their own home in Montana. Like, I have so much respect for them. But like, they're not buying organic meat, but they're buying like a little bit better meat because they're understanding that long term, because you can imagine being the size they are, how much meat they eat, and so when you're looking at, and originally you don't think it's that bad, but there are so many preservatives and things that are put that over the long haul, if you are eating 1.5 pounds per meal.
Oh, that can't be good for anybody at any time. 1.5 pounds.
It's totally, it depends on your body size and caloric needs.
Wow. So when
body lifters need it. It's
we
like
had a year and a half.
Giant dog.
Okay.
You feed them raw meat, right?
Yeah.
Like a
and
Saint
they process
Bernard.
It.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when we had all 3 of the boys, my 2 and then my husband's son who was in the police academy, I would cook 7 to 8 pounds of beef and there would be no leftovers.
Wow. Have they heard about veganism?
Yeah, they're not a fan.
They have and they're not interested. All right. Hey, Megan, now it's time for you to, speaking of dogs, play man's best friend.
Oh, fun.
Now, humping your leg and asking, how well do you know your dogs, dog?
That's my dog.
This is man's best friend.
That's my dog.
So let's have some fun. Since we're on the subject of big dogs eating lots of meat. Can you name the most famous dogs in history? Being a mother, you guys you brought your dog. His name's Spanky.
That's my service dog.
He's sitting over here in the studio audience. Yeah. He looks like Petey, but he's named Spanky.
I love him.
Yeah. If he had a circle around his eye, he would be Petey.
He'd be so Petey.
You remember Little Rascals?
He does have a circle around his eye.
It's called an eye.
What?
He does?
No.
Yeah, that's
he has
how
black,
he
but
looks
it's
like
not it's not a perfect circle.
Oh, I didn't notice the circle. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Number 1. Part of the original Toy Story gang, this toy dachshund dog with a slinky body made a name of himself early on in the franchise thanks to his unique southern accent and unwavering loyalty to Woody. What was his name?
Oh, this is a total mom fail.
Toy Story.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
Your kids were raised, your kid is a big Buzz Lightyear fan, right?
No, none of them really loved him, but we watched them. Yeah, no, and I should know this, but I don't know what his name is.
I don't remember.
Okay, well.
Fail. Yeah. I own up to my failures.
His name is Slinky.
Oh, Slinky.
Gave you a clue in there. All right, number 2. Even though he was given antlers by the Grinch to be the driver of his monstrous sleigh, he never lost his loyalty to his furry green master. Who's the dog? Yeah, the Grinch.
I want to say Mo.
Ooh, that's close, but not correct.
Dang.
It's Max.
Oh, Max.
That's my son's name, so I guess I should have
sure
gotten
you're
that.
not stoned?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No.
And your son's name is Max?
Yes.
Named after the Grinch's dog?
No.
You think you would have gotten that one right? Okay.
No.
Number 3. In the first Anchorman... Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Hans. Good job, bro. In the first Anchorman movie, this guy endured a lot in his role as a trusty sidekick. However, his life sadly ended after being punted into a river by an angry motorcyclist, leaving Ron Burgundy in a glass case of emotion.
You know,
What was the dog's name?
You know I don't speak Spanish.
Baxter.
That's right, Wes.
Good job, Wes.
Yeah, Wes got it. Megan, we're going to give you a right answer on that one.
Good job, Megan.
Congratulations. Way to pay attention.
You did great.
I could swear she's stoned. I side with her children, by the way.
I don't think she's high. I think she's just thinking, you crazy.
You're so crazy.
You crazy.
Hey, Megan, where can we find you on the internet?
So my blog is bbhwithms.com. And my Instagram is bbhwithms.com or bbhwithms. And our retreat, cannabis retreat that we're opening is Camp Sunshine 420.
Cool. Look it up online.
Yeah.
Cannabis
Sunshine.
retreat. We're going to retreat to where the weed is grown by your husband.
Exactly.
Megan, thank you so much for being on the Leaf Life podcast.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Wes, next week, incarceration to cannabis co-op.
That is a journey.
Yeah.
That sounds like it.
Well, his dad was arrested when he was a kid and taken away in handcuffs, and now he is part of a 15-company co-op in Oregon. Going to be a great story. Download this and all Leaf Life episodes at leafmagazines.com. You can listen to all Leaf Life podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, anywhere you enjoy podcasts, including YouTube. Just please subscribe at Leaf Life Podcast V2. Now here comes another episode of Stony Baloney, which is also available at leafmagazines.com. And please be kind to animals.
Your hosts for Leaf Life are Mike Ricker and Wes Abney. Leaf Life is produced by Mike Daly. Some of the music heard is provided by purple-planet.com. Every bit of cannabis you use is female, so please respect the ladies. Leaf Life is brought to you by Leaf Nation, featuring Alaska Leaf, Oregon Leaf, Northwest Leaf, Maryland Leaf, Amsterdam Leaf, and California Leaf. On the shelf now in your local retailer. Now, please stay tuned for this week's edition of Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
The friend girl. It's a woman who is just a friend. Except a guy can't call her a girlfriend like a girl can call another girl a girlfriend. You see, if a man publicly addresses his friend girl as a girlfriend, the silence stews amongst those within earshot. The brows lift, and the inquiries eventually fly like hail in a tornado. Be aware, gentlemen, that the examination from her friends will begin suggestively. First, you'll pick up a subtle nudge that comes off as cautiously indirect. It'll be something like, "So, how do you two know each other?" But don't be fooled. This is a disguise to appear as if they're not prying. And if your response does not quench their curiosity, the concern can escalate into a full-blown probe. They will tell you that they are worried about you and have your best interests in mind. However, one must realize that there is always a lurking agenda. Ultimately, they are determining one very major factor, and that is if there is any possibility that there may be a new Little Miss Mustard Pants being brought into the world by an unsanctioned woman, because that affects everyone in the tribe. And Mom and Auntie are territorial and will want to be acutely informed because this could drastically affect the family dynamic. You are an adult now, and adults make babies. And if that baby comes from a woman not approved by the consensus, you're seriously fucking with everyone's happy place. And women understand this much better than men. People need labels. They need it on their shirts, on their spaghetti sauce, on their prescriptions, and on you. Because life is easier to manage when things are categorized and put in their rightful place. So, understand that nomenclature is vital. And as a species, there is the matter of instinct when introducing more human beings into the clan and the planet. because we've become too populated. We need to become more potulated.
Stony baloney. Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker or Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug. There may be health risks associated with consumption of this product. For use by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children.